Welcome to the 6 o'clock news.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow!
Stay tuned for more tales of interest! Anyway, it's good to be back. We couldn't do the podcast last week because
That was unfortunate.
We just really didn't like you guys.
That's half true. That's half. That's half.
we won't deny that at all.
Yeah, that's half true. I hate people a lot, particularly Max. I mean,
how I'm still here, I have no idea. But hey, I won. We won. It's good to quote.
But yeah, our schedule should definitely become more regular after this week, and obviously after this week we'll have a lot more spare time that we can maybe look at creating some more regular content.
Yes.
For those who don't know, we're all actually uni students doing gaming development degrees, and we finished this week, and we will graduate at the end of the year or March.
Or March.
Or March. I don't know.
Apparently, it's next year.
Yeah.
Wait, did you get that confirmed?
Well, it's
That's what Justin and Joel said.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. I can maybe go book my Melbourne trip.
Yeah. Oh,
Isn't it
I wasn't gonna
Canberra?
go. I wasn't gonna go to the graduation anyway.
what, here or in Canberra?
Either. Yeah.
Yeah, because I asked about the Canberra thing. I was like, "Do you guys provide any?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "No, okay, I'm staying here. You guys can."
I wasn't going to go to Canberra anyway.
Well, it's also
regardless.
$300 as well.
Yeah.
Like, and that's you gotta rent a gown. You gotta rent the gown. You gotta wear the gown and the hat.
Oh, the
thing.
silly little hat that everyone wears in every goddamn American college film and all that jazz and all that poop. Anyway, so
Did you know there's different ones as well for your bachelor, then postgraduate, and then masters, and then PhD. So like you don't. So even if you bought one, because some people think, oh, I'll just buy it because it's like $600, $700 for it, rather than renting it for $250. Because then you
lot
can
of money.
sort of like your idea is you might use it again. Now you can't use it again because if you then did your honors, you got to wear a different gown.
And I hear if you when you're going to graduate from your doctorate, you turn up in surgeon scrubs.
They used to also let you throw your hat. You can't throw your hat anymore. Oh, H&S.
two
I was gonna
dangerous.
say, sounds like an H&S scheme right there.
Yeah, I mean, well, the hat's hard. Like, it's got the hard corners thing, so that's smacked on someone.
Yeah, just like throw it up, neck minute. Old mate over here's got no more left eye.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair enough point
Yeah,
to
I get
not
it.
do it.
So,
But that's the sort of fun thing.
Yeah.
so
know.
what's been going on recently? I mean, I'm sort of a bit out of the loop. What's been going on with games and movies and stuff right now?
Well, funny you ask, Max. Thanks for asking.
Kill me now.
What a great question.
So, hold that thought.
Oh, okay, I'm holding, and now I'm coming back to it.
Yeah, come back to it.
So a few things happened.
Was it heavy?
Huh? It was heavy.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
about 200.
Yeah, oh, that's about Max's mums.
Stick to the point. Let's move on.
So, well,
She'll stick to it. We'll cut that out.
so obviously, Doctor Strange was one of them.
Oh, that was great.
That was pretty good. We'll talk about that in a second. Also, you and I went to see Jack Reacher this morning.
Yeah, that was good.
pretty good.
That was good. I mean,
Yeah.
like if you like the first Jack Reacher, it literally is more of the same, but depending on your perspective on movie, sometimes that's what you want. You want that consistency because you like the first movie. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine if John Wick took a more dramatic drama approach to his second movie? People would just be like,
It
well,
wouldn't-
no, that's not
wouldn't
what
be
I
the
liked it
same.
for.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, which was, for me, that was a big reason why I didn't like the new Point Break movie because it was nothing like the first one.
Point Break with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, being the original,
Yes.
the new one. It just wasn't like it.
Yeah.
Jack Reacher.
The Jack Reacher was really good. I liked
Yeah.
it. I didn't. The last 10 minutes were a little bit like, because it was like that little boring bit where they tie up all the stuff with things.
The thing that I didn't like, yeah, I'll spoil it. I don't care.
Annotation, spoiler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
there's spoilers. Well, any movies we talk about on this, we'll always be spoiling it. So presuppose that you should have watched it already. In Jack Reacher, the thing that I didn't like is you find out. Oh, actually, yeah, I won't totally spoil it. You find out that he has a daughter. Okay? But in regular Hollywood fashion, it's Jack Reacher, and he's with another person, and they're both on the run, and they got the daughter with them. And they sort of teach her, like, one sort of move to help you get away from someone.
Yeah.
And, of course, that exact move is used in the exact situation later on in the movie.
Yeah.
Just
Of
by
course it
happenens.
is.
Very. As soon as that
Yeah,
happened,
as soon as I
I
saw it, I was
saw it. I was like, nah, no, why?
It's Hollywood. What do you
It's
expect?
too much of a 90s throwback where it's like, I'm going to teach you this one thing, there's like a million different things I could teach you. I teach you just one thing, and then just coincidentally, an
Just
hour later in
happens.
our story, that's exactly all you need to know. But outside of that, pretty much everything to regards to the kid really annoyed me. Outside of that, I thought everything was quite good. I like the car scenes were pretty good. They could have had a bit more car chase scenes, I think, in it, because there really wasn't much of any of that.
I couldn't help but the bit where there's like that parade, couldn't help but think, oh, they really tried to James Spector this, didn't they? With the whole intro at the start of James Bond.
yeah.
The Day of the Dead thing. That was
yeah.
a really good intro.
Apparently,
But it was Halloween, though.
oh yeah, I know.
Wait,
like,
is that when Day of the Dead is?
The Day de Immorta, I'm probably not saying it right, but I think it's before All Hallows Eve, which is Halloween, I think.
Okay.
apparently, also with like ever since that they shot that big Day of the Dead thing in James Bond, they're actually gonna make that a proper thing. Like have like that humongous parade. Apparently, it didn't exist. Day of the Dead did, but like that parade.
they made
thing-
the parade up just for the obviously for
Don't
the
quote
movie,
me. This
but-
is from what I heard from some
That's
sources.
somewhat believable, because, I mean, the tourism factor for it would be massive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, Jack Reacher, like, yeah, if you like the first one, this is exactly more of the same, except for the additional daughter part, which is really the only sore point for me. And it just, because it just seemed largely, like, tacked on.
You mean like a last minute thing they did?
Yeah, like, if you think about it, you could take out her whole story, and excluding the one sort of drive for the one fight scene, you could have just written another reason for that.
yeah.
Like, and
It just didn't need it.
yeah, it didn't really need it.
The only thing
and, like,
it-
the thing of how it comes back to her, like with how he gets the photos taken of him seeing her for the first time.
Yeah.
He could have been gone to a contact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it was largely interchangeable. Like, it would not have been hard. It would have been more than a day to work to just write her out and write something
It
else
did
in.
drive some of his actions. So like the whole like he was the reason
He did
was-
get a bit of fear for
yeah
her.
he got
Okay.
like, yeah very overprotective of her.
Did he did he go full Liam Neeson? You know,
Nah,
like
not
full
that.
crazy protection.
Actually, he got pretty angry at the end.
Yeah, he
No,
did.
but not Liam Neeson though. Liam Neeson just
Well,
No,
that
no,
wasn't
no.
really the point of the story.
because none of those sort of situations count where she was taken hostage in that way.
Yeah.
So it couldn't really apply. But yeah, so the other movie was Doctor Strange. I was
Yep.
talking to some of my friends over in America, and they saw it, and then they saw it again in 3D after getting high. And they said,
as you do, or may
and they were
not
just
do.
like, wow. So, well, I don't do drugs. No, there's anything wrong with that. But apparently it's quite interesting when you do drugs and you watch it. And I know what. It's funny, though, because I was watching it. The first time you watch it, you obviously don't know what's happening. It's like, oh, I don't know where you take drugs for this. And then there's a scene like, oh, yeah, that's the spot. That whole scene when he goes into the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't say too much, but let's just say Speed Racer for me was a very different experience.
I love that movie. I know
Oh,
people don't
yeah.
like it.
No, it was
I
great.
totally get why people don't like
I
it.
thought it was good though. I really liked it.
I was surprised they didn't make an actual video game out of it, because
There was a DS game.
No, they did, but it wasn't that good.
There was a Nintendo DS game that I played the hell out of.
There was,
really?
there was
Yeah.
a PlayStation 2
That-
game where you actually do all the Carfu and everything.
oh really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh, I never even
It's
heard
even
that.
got that, noise whenever he does that flip thing, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
That was some thunder.
Yeah, there was some, we just got...
We're
there's a
about
storm.
to die.
Yeah, there's a storm going on right now, so, yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
that's a good thing that it's sort of recording off power, so
Yeah.
you don't need to worry about that. But Doctor Strange was very awesome. They did change something which is quite significant to how I see it, to me, from the comic books. So probably going to pronounce this name wrong, but he basically has an amulet that you see in the movie posters, the Eye of Amagato,
Yep.
or something like that. Basically, this eye would allow you to see all the truths. It looks like they
was that-
changed it
yeah.
to it can control time.
yeah, it did a cool like couple of extra things. It was
Yeah.
like it needed to be part of the ritual.
Yeah.
So that he could control time.
Yeah, and basically you find out that the eye is the Infinity Stone, which is interesting for me because the eye never was the Infinity Stone. It never has
Yeah.
been in the comics.
Have they done this to get him in the whole thing of the Infinity Wars?
Oh, yeah, he
has to be part of
that's
it, yeah.
obviously
He has to be
what
part
they've
of it.
done. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. But
Yeah, I don't really like how they did it. I don't really like that they made it the Infinity Stone, because that sort of makes me think he'll lose the eye, but that's a really big important tool to Doctor Strange's character. Like, he always has the eye in the comic books. But the ending was quite funny with the credits scenes.
Oh, so they obviously did what they always do in Marvel films, a little scene at the end.
Oh yeah, of course.
But this one was with Thor.
You want a spoiler alert or?
You can YouTube this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You don't need to go to the
Yeah.
movies to see this. Like,
True.
Marvel always just puts the clips at the end because not everyone stays for it.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's he's talking to Thor, and he gives Thor a cup of tea, and Thor's just like, "Oh, a cup of tea's not really my thing." And then suddenly it changes to like a mug of beer.
Big
and
glass.
and then he starts sculling that while Doctor Strange is talking, and then he finishes because he starts talking, and then the cup just magically already starts filling up, and he looks at it just like, "Oh,"
and then drinks it again, doesn't he? Like,
yeah, he starts drinking more of it.
It's got to be beer, Australians.
Yeah.
We love our beer.
But obviously, because Doctor Strange says he's keeping an eye on all supernatural beings that's currently entering the Earth dimension.
Oh wow! Okay.
And he says, what about your brother Loki? He's here, and he's just like, I'll help you find him. And Thor's just like, yeah, sure, help me, that's fine. And this is obviously leading up into the next movie that's coming out, which is Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm keen for that.
Which is, something that's cool. My friend Shayla, she actually got to work on that movie.
Oh, really? Doing what?
Cool.
I'm not too sure. I think she's like a assistant producer's assistant. I don't know. She does like script writing and filming, so I don't know if that's what her role was on the set.
That's still pretty amazing, though.
But yeah, so she worked on that. I'm pretty sure she also worked on the new Pirates movie as well. For a little while.
We all know that's coming. We talked about the trailer, I think, not the podcast before. We were talking about the trailer.
Yeah.
That looks good. On the topic of Marvel, I want to talk about the Wolverine movie that's coming out. I want to get your guys' thoughts. Have you seen the trailer that's come out?
I love the intro. I love the song by Johnny Cash.
I mean, it's great.
Which is also a Nine Inch Nails song, if people didn't know. Johnny Cash covered it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that when we were talking about this last week. But yeah, it's like, it's exploring this sort of, he looks, I mean, I know Hugh Jackman's old, but even the character, like, he looks old now because obviously it's going to be the last time we see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And the movie's, I think it's called Logan as far as I've been told.
Yeah, did they say that he lost his healing factor in it?
I don't know, but from what I've seen, there's a child in it. Could be his child. Most likely it is. We're not sure. All in the trailer. I don't know. If you haven't seen the trailer.
She's supposed to be 23, isn't she?
The kid. The little kid in the trailer.
Yeah, that has the two claws, his daughter.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen. All I've seen is him trying to protect this girl. He's still got his claws and they're metal. Again, I mean, I won't go too much into that, but I'm a bit confused.
No. In Days of Future Past.
That's right.
No, wait, not Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
In the one where
the one where he goes back in time and he mentally,
Mystique then makes herself look like Stryker or Strider, whatever.
Striker. William Stryker.
And then puts him back in the program again.
And then you do see him in the most recent X-Men film. And, that's a bit... But, yeah, I just...
all lost track now. I'm trying to see...
Yeah, look, ever since Days of Future Past, it's pretty much been like a really weird star map that doesn't make sense. I mean, there's been a lot of discussions about how the story is canon, it's not canon, it's all over the shop right now. I think it's a good time for Hugh Jackman to be like, okay, I'm done. This is going to be the last time I do Wolverine.
Well, this is his last Wolverine film, not his last film as Wolverine. Because
interesting.
Apparently that's going to be Deadpool.
Oh, true. Okay.
I
completely forgot about Deadpool.
Yeah, he was really happy to do it. There's also a funny interview between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. I think it's Hugh Jackman. And it's funny because he's interviewing him about a movie, and he hadn't even seen the movie, so he just started asking him random questions, saying they're from his fans, but they're actually from Deadpool. So, yeah, good little interview. You should go look for it. It's it's on YouTube. You can. I'm sure you're all adults. You can find it.
I mean,
maybe we'll link it.
But just finishing up on that, I think it'll be interesting to see how they go with this film. I'm interested to see what story they're going to go with. I mean, it's Wolverine. I've always liked Wolverine, comic and in movies. I mean, it's Hugh Jackman.
Oh, did you see they also dropped the Wonder Woman trailer as well?
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw that today, actually. I literally saw it today on my way to work.
Yeah, that looks good. It definitely, I feel bad for them because it definitely has such a strong Captain America vibe to it of the first one. Because it's not based, I don't know if it's based in the same war. I think it's based in an older war. Because Captain America was based in World War One. I'm pretty sure this is based before that.
Sorry, World War Two.
Oh, was it World War?
Yeah,
Oh,
Captain America was
Hitler.
World War Two, and I think you're
Yeah.
saying Wonder Woman's in World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like at least aesthetically, they weren't identical, but they're very similar. So we'll see. I mean, above all else, it looks awesome. I'm definitely going to see it. I'm definitely on board. My only criticism of the Wonder Woman franchise that they're doing, and this isn't actually directed at Wonder Woman franchise in general, is I'm always dissatisfied that the women never seem to encapsulate the superheroes they're portraying.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is they never get muscly. Or even, and I'm not even talking about muscly. I'm not talking about like having rippling arms.
Just
like, look at a surfer.
bulky, yeah.
Look at a female surfer.
Right.
They're ripped. Like, you can see their abs, you can see their quads, you can see their
Yeah.
biceps because surfing is quite an intensive sport. And it's just, I don't know. It's a much of a personal preference. I just think that I'd like to see female actresses take to the same level of commitment in their image that the male actors do. Because look at Henry Cavill and look at Ben Affleck and even Ezra. What's his name? Who plays Flash? Something Ezra.
I don't
The
know,
young
I don't
fella.
follow that.
Yeah, the guy from Perks of Being a Wallflower. Anyway, the guy who's playing Flash, even he bulked up, and it's really hard to bulk up, and it's really hard to stay bulked, and it's really hard to stay bulked and ripped.
Yeah.
Just so I can understand you, are you suggesting that when women are playing superheroes, they want to look good as opposed to look more accurate to what
Yeah,
role
and you
they're
know what? I
playing?
don't blame the women because I believe it's more the directors and their PR and their publicists saying like, no, don't get too bulky because that might ruin you for other sort of roles or give the wrong impression to your audience.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not blaming the actresses per se, but I just think that, I mean,
It just, I know what you mean. Like, isn't Wonder Woman supposed to be like this, like, bigger, like,
she's
bulkier
an
lady? Like, she's an
Amazonian,
Amazonian.
goddess
Yeah.
warrior.
Diana.
Yeah.
Like, she should be big, like, like,
when her
just
arm,
strong,
when her arm comes up, sort of like to swing, you should just be able to see the bicep.
Yeah, just.
Or like when she's swinging, you should see a bicep. Like, and at the very least, she should have cap shoulders. Like,
Right.
and if you don't have cap shoulders,
So we're not
just
suggesting
yeah.
she should look anything like that particular episode of Futurama, We want snoo because that'd be pushing it a bit too
No,
much.
honestly, I'm just talking about look at some of the top female surfer athletes. They are very lean because they're surfing because you don't want to be too large for it. You have to stay lean and light, but they are like shredded. They have muscle. It's very visible. I don't know. It's just it's just like a thing that I have, and it's got nothing against that movie. It's just in general. Like even Supergirl on the TV series, CW series.
I really don't like that face she put.
And
I just don't like the show overall.
And we'll see what Captain Marvel's like, because there's going to be a Captain Marvel movie.
Yeah.
We'll see what she looks like. But the actor,
She?
Captain Marvel's a chick.
Captain Marvel was a dude originally.
No.
Adam.
Miss Marvel becomes Captain Marvel.
Are you sure about that?
Well, the movie's Captain Marvel.
In the comic books, it was a man. In the original Justice League of America, so not Justice League of America. Back in World War II, there was another Justice League, and Captain Marvel was in that Justice League. I am DC, not Marvel, just so that everyone knows.
Captain Marvel. No, I'm pretty sure it's a female, because I got confused as well, because it says Captain and, misogyny aside, the only Captain I've ever heard of is, Captain Planet, so I always associate with a
Captain
dude.
Planet.
Yeah.
Jacob, are you looking this up now?
Looking at the cat first, looking at this image, that's a dude.
Who am I thinking of then? What's the new movie coming out then?
The only other...
But you might still be right, because when you search Captain Marvel, there is on Google images of
that's
girls.
her.
I'm not saying that it's wrong.
Was that one actually, that photo that you brought up, was that actually DC? Because DC has a hero called Captain Marvel.
And it is a man.
So the female one is Marvel Comics.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Well, no,
That's a little bit all over
but even
the
on the
shop.
Wikipedia, it's Marvel Comics, and then it's the dude.
Oh, hang. There's your problem. You're on what again? What was
No,
the website?
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia,
You
but
should never reference Wikipedia
But
if you ever
still,
go to
like,
uni. Yeah, I know.
okay.
But yeah, so Captain Marvel. It's a chick,
Okay.
like in the comics.
And just to be clear,
And Captain
it's-
Marvel is Miss Marvel. She goes through a transitional period or something. I never read her series, so I don't know what happens. But she goes from being, I think she goes from being Power Girl or something to Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel.
That's very confusing, man.
There's no way.
It's
There's,
so
but you know why?
confusing.
Because there's no way they do. I think Miss Marvel's costume. If you don't know which one, and look, I'm probably wrong. Someone probably correct me if I got this incorrect. But Miss Marvel's costume, you've probably seen her. She's the blonde chick in a white leotard that has a boob window cut out here.
I know. I can
yeah.
understand why now.
So that's it, and that's most likely why they wouldn't do her story, because Captain Marvel's costume is actually cooler anyway. It's like she's got boots, she's got like a full uniform on. She looks, I don't know, more like a superhero and less like just a sex object.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot of unhappy people. Well,
I read comic books and I really hate how some of the costumes are just ridiculous. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh really?
They
You're
make no
just gonna
sense.
You're just gonna wear a leotard.
that's
It's
the way
like
it was.
It's
back
like in
when
those.
they were
It's like in
being-
But
those
it's not
Asian
even-
MMOs with like the girls with like no armor. It's like and it's just like
But
it's
they
like
have
a
the
bik-
highest armor mitigation.
yeah. It's like it's like a bikini made of metal, and apparently it's supposed to block like this huge great sword.
It
like-
just sounds.
And it's like, obviously they're marketing it to our demographic of males, but I just don't know anymore because I read Marvel comics all the time.
they're catering to a very specific type of male.
Yeah, the nerds who want to spend money on that sort of stuff.
well, that's where the term waifu came from.
I just don't. I just don't find it
Yeah.
interesting. I actually find it more distracting to the point where I watch a lot of anime, and if I watch animes and they have too much fan service into it, which is basically where they cater, or a better word would be to pander to that demographic that's into that sort of like cheeky look at bikinis or upskirts and that sort of crap. It just turns me off. I just don't watch it. I'm just
Right.
like, this is so far off the plot that I sort of just hate it. I'm just like, this is stupid.
So it
It's
needs
too
class.
cheeky,
Then. It needs
baby.
just a little bit of
Not even
class.
class. It just needs to be normal.
Yeah.
I don't
Needs to be
go.
less
That's
cheeky,
what I wanted to
baby.
Yeah, it just needs to be normal. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they go to like, there's things where it's like there's a boy and girl at the school, and the dude's uniform, and like it's a combat school or something, and the dude's wearing like pants and shirts, and the girl in her combat uniform is still a skirt and like stockings. I'm just like, well, my partner's in the army. She wears pants like the rest of them. I don't think that if you're a female in the army, you get to wear a skirt on the battlefield.
What are you
might-
doing? You don't wear pants.
Take your pants off now, missy! Yeah.
No.
Like Rowan Atkinson from Blackadder just then. Movies.
Oh,
Always
actually,
start with movies.
Actually, just one more thing to do with comics. Well, not even comics, to do with Marvel and DC. Actually, no, this is more on your line. Is I don't think you've seen this, but you really should. Young Justice.
I've seen it.
Yeah, Young Justice season 3 has
I
been
know.
announced. I'm very happy. If you haven't seen Young Justice, it's one of the few sort of cartoons. Like, have you ever seen Last Airbender? Or Last
Never
Avatar?
followed it. Last Airbender.
Well, basically,
Sorry, guys.
what I mean
Don't
just
apologise.
what I mean just to reference that is that this is where they've obviously done a cartoon. It's clearly a cartoon, but they've very obviously catered it to the teenager to
Oh, I
adult
see.
crowd.
Okay.
Like, kids can watch it,
Yeah.
but you can obviously tell if you watch it, there's subtext.
Yep.
In all the actions and all the looks and all the speech that's going on, that is very clearly
Sort
adult.
of like Adventure Time in that aspect where.
Oh yeah, when they're
Yeah.
talking about like the end of the world, and it's actually like a dystopian apocalypse, and 7 billion people are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's so it's not it doesn't have that serious a subtext, but
When I saw it at you showed it to me at your house once.
Oh, Young Justice.
Young Justice, and the first thing I thought was, it's like they got Teen Titans from Cartoon Network and just ramped it up like by 10.
That was a great show, team.
Yeah, yes and no.
I like the weird Asian inspired intro. Teen Titans.
Oh, that,
Yeah.
Teen Titans.
That's, I mean, apart from that, the show was okay. They actually got Ron Perlman, aka Hellboy, to voice the main bad guy in most of them.
Slade.
Yes, Slade, not Blade. not Slade, which is supposed to be a reference to an actual DC villain called Deathstroke, but it wasn't really. Oh.
Blade,
There we go.
Blazer. I believe you, my consigliere.
Michelle.
Laser poop. Sorry.
What?
I'm trying to jump in here with something.
Can you
I don't get any of it.
Abandon.
The last. If you do you know the last member of the Purple Cobras? I'll be impressed if you can get that.
Oh yeah, I get that reference. Okay.
Finally clicked.
That's a dodgeball reference. Yeah, good. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Sorry. Okay.
Can we please get an image of something around Jacob saying "duh" or something like that?
Hey, sorry.
There's a cool little game I saw on Kickstarter. It's already successfully funded, so if you want to jump onto it, I definitely recommend you check it. Probably by the time this video goes up, there may only be 3 or 2 days left on it. It's called Lost Ember. It is a online... Was it an online game? No, it's a single-player exploring game, but you only play as animals. You play as a little wolf, but you can jump into different animals to get around. So you can be a wolf and you run off to a cliff and there's a bird there. You can transfer into that bird so you can fly to different places. And it's really just a general, calm, sort of like explore the world. They only wanted to raise £100,000. They've already raised £260,000.
Okay,
they've shown a lot of the game. They've already shown some of the mechanics of how it works. And you just explore around this world, and there's little secrets. Like you can also jump into like a little mole, so you can go into the ground and go through little tunnels and that sort of
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like a cool, chill game. Like if you like games which aren't like shooting and action, like this one has the lead sound engineers and audio guys from Grand Theft Auto actually left Rockstar, and they made their own studio. And they've hired those guys to do the sound for this. So it's got top-class sound, really nice music through it. You know, if you ever want that sort of change-of-pace game where you don't want to, like, blow up aliens and do objectives.
Blow up aliens and do a barrel roll and all that stuff.
Yeah, and do all that sort of stuff.
If you want to break from Overwatch is pretty much what we're trying to say.
Yeah, it's called Lost Ember. I mean, I backed it, I think it was like 35 Australian after the conversion or whatever. And I don't know, I back a lot of games. Sometimes I play them, sometimes I don't. It's not coming out till 2018 though, so that's okay though, because we're basically at the end of 2016.
Yeah.
So really, technically,
we're
depending how you look at it, it's only like a year and a bit wait.
Yeah, so we are approaching 2017. Overwatch, you just mentioned it then.
Sombra.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to bring her up. Originally,
what ugly skins? Oh my god.
Yeah, I suppose, but. I mean, you know what Blizzard's like. They're like,
they're normally good. I love all the skins.
I know, but
a lot of pretty good skins.
Yeah. I mean, I bought 25 loot cases.
Can we not talk about that again? It frustrates me to this day that you go and do that and you get all the
best ones from Halloween.
You know, bleep my swear words. Censor Hollywood. It's not Hollywood. Halloween costumes. I haven't got one single.
And you never will now. Halloween's over.
Wait, can you still buy them? Because they're going to make it you can buy the summer skins soon. I did read that somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
I will probably buy them.
I
liked a lot of summer skins.
I don't buy into it. I didn't get any of them. I opened up one Halloween case that I got for leveling up.
Quickly before we go on to exactly Sombra, talking about skins now, there's going to be an exclusive skin for Genji. To get it, starting November 15th, probably our 16th because we're in Australia, all you have to do is play 15 games of Heroes of the Storm, and you unlock it.
Oh, too easy.
Yeah, easy. Like
what's
just gotta play some Hearts. Hearts of the Swarm. Sorry.
It's called Oni, as in Japanese ONI, as in like demon. So he's got like a demon sort of like wooden mask on. He's got like this cool sort of ninja skin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it reminds you of something from Tenchu Stealth Assassin.
Tenchu Stealth Assassin. I'm just trying to remember the
PlayStation 1 ninja game.
Yeah.
Real old dudes.
So at this point, we'll be seeing footage of it if we can find it. Yes,
maybe.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yes,
good. Because I'll review that later.
Assuming it's in a resolution that works, it's from PlayStation 1, dude. It's ancient.
There we go. So Sombra. Now, I don't know much about the character. As far as I know, she's a support character. Or is she a defense character?
She's utility.
So very much like Symmetra. Then
she'll probably fall in the support.
Like Symmetra support, but she's not heals.
Actually, I reckon she'll either fall under support, because she's on the PTR now, but I haven't looked at it. She'll either fall under the support or fall under the defense role.
Okay.
Because one of her abilities, which I think is her ult, her ulti can shut down most other ults, as in turn them off.
Even the dreaded May ult.
I don't know because it just
that
says
would be something.
because it says most other alts. But like you can imagine that if you had like a Reinhardt come in. Oh, the other thing, she has an ability where she can also see other people's ults, like where if they're fully charged.
That's pretty handy.
No, dude, that's a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the competitive scene, that can be the difference between knowing when to make a push or not.
Yeah, when to like engage or not.
Because you know, if you, hypothetically speaking, if you knew everyone else's like when the ult was ready to charge, if you got to capture a point, it'd become a game of who throws the ult down first. Because whoever goes first is going to lose. Because as soon as you throw down your ults first, if they've got the right team comp, they can counter your ults and then wipe you out before you wipe them
or
out.
just straight up disengage and then
and then
you could bait that. You could bait the heck out of them as well.
It is a massive game changer, which is a little bit disappointing because that ability is so OP that it's going to force a lot of players in comp just to choose her for that, I'd say. Because...
Well, that's one way to get a new character out there.
Because, you know, the main thing of any sort of battle and war is information. And if you know where their ultis are at, you can effectively, through teamwork, like strategize much better. But yeah, so not only with that ability, her ult is the ability to shut down an ult. So imagine if you knew that, you see a Reinhardt and you see an Ana, and she boosts Reinhardt and he comes in and he's just about to do his seismic shock thing, and you shut him down.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 ults just wasted right there. Their whole push momentum
gone.
Stopped.
Yeah.
But then
that seems a little too OP. As in, like, they're going to release that. They're going to release and they go, all right, we need to change this.
We can say it's OP, and it probably will be, but
it's in the PTR.
We're going to have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, it's in the PTR right now, so this is where they go through the balancing act of figuring it out.
Yeah,
her other cool ability is she can throw a little teleporter onto the ground, which she can go back to. At first, in the cinematic trailer they showed, she dropped it on the ground, so I thought that's how it would get deployed.
Yep.
But apparently now she actually just throws it, like where your reticle, she lobs it. So what you could do is on a map like Volskaya, if you're making the push in where the concrete arch is, that initial push where the truck is at the start, you could throw the teleporter up in that little window there as her and teleport up to avoid any sort of that middle push.
It's interesting. It's combining Symmetra and Tracer, if you think about it.
But it's not even just that. You can also just chuck it somewhere safe, and then you have 15 seconds before it deactivates. So you can chuck it somewhere safe, make a push, and then teleport straight back to safety.
It's got potential. You could always just, you could attack the point, push all the defense back while they're distracted with that. The other team comes in through the front.
And it only, I think I was reading that it only had a 4-second cooldown, which to me seems way too short.
Oh, well, they're going to obviously change that. I mean, that's crazy. So on the topic of Blizzard as well, so I was reading somewhere that the CEO of Blizzard was suggesting that if Warcraft 4 was going to happen, he'd want to put it on mobile only because he thinks there's a huge potential market there for Warcraft 4. My thoughts on that is you're an idiot. You should really try and
Did he say that, or did the article say that?
The CEO himself did say that.
He quoted?
I can't believe that, because Mike, I think it's Mike, what's his name, Mike Morales? I don't know.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it either, but no, he did.
This is the same person that had the same acronyms for 2 different games that we were discussing earlier.
Oh, yeah. Heart of the Swarm, Heroes of the Storm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it was like,
he likes his storms and swarms.
It was more just like,
and
he's going to play HOTS.
Which one?
Which one?
Yes.
He may have said that. I don't believe it would ever come to fruition, mainly just because, well, I mean, it started on PC. I can definitely see them making a mobile version if they wanted to, but I can't ever foresee them not making an RTS for their computer. The only reason why I would imagine they wouldn't do that is because they don't want it to cannibalize StarCraft 2 sales.
Yeah.
That's legitimately the only logical reason that I could see because, you know, where they're at right now, they're in a very good position in that all their IPs right now are not conflicting with each other at all. They don't have a duplicate of it. But, you know, as soon as you start doing like what EA does, where they make a COD and Titanfall, which one do you push harder? Obviously, they push COD because it's an older franchise. But, I mean, you know, hypothetically speaking, if they're both new IPs or both on par, like, which one do you push? Like, it becomes a real dangerous decision and something that you would have to, for a big company like that, explain to shareholders and stockholders. And also, people don't realize this, but Blizzard isn't their own independent company. They're owned by... Oh, wait, did they buy themselves out? No, I don't think they fully bought themselves out. I think they're still partially owned by Vivendi Studios. But Vivendi, because of the way they're the people who's trying to do a hostile takeover of Ubisoft, Ubisoft, because Microsoft has such a stellar track record, they have complete autonomy. So that's why you don't really hear about their parent company, because they never step in, because Blizzard is constantly just making money every day.
Yeah, so basically, it's like a Vader and Palpatine scenario we have going on here. We have the Palpatine, which is what is it?
Vivendi.
Vivendi. They're the Palpatine, just controlling.
They're actually
the
a French media conglomerate company. I didn't know that. They're massive. Like, they're massive, apparently.
Hence the Palpatine reference I just said.
Yep. Well, legal. Riot Games is owned by
Tencent.
Tencent, which is a huge Chinese holding company.
Like, yeah, they own like ISPs, they own like telecoms, they just own everything. And you know, people often forget how large some of these companies are. Like, everyone looks at Samsung and says, "Oh yeah, Samsung phones, yeah, they're good." Samsung makes 80% of the world's skyscrapers, I think. They own something like 70 or 90% of the shipping market of the boats. They are one of the biggest companies in the world.
Well,
they make, in my opinion, the best solid state drives.
Oh, the portable ones?
Well,
or,
just
you mean the MVM2s?
Well,
like
just in general, yeah.
Yeah.
The 850
they're gigantic. Nice. But yeah, I would be super sad if Blizzard were to do that.
I would just stop playing Blizzard altogether.
No, you wouldn't.
I would make a statement and say, mate, this is pathetic.
But
what have you done?
You'd stop playing Overwatch?
Boycotting doesn't do anything.
It will if I get enough people.
Well, no, it would if you did get enough people. But for someone like Blizzard, you would literally probably have to get like 4 million people to boycott them, and also be active about it for them to even like probably actually maybe only 1 million to make a loud enough noise. 1 million
would make a small impact though. It would be a start of something.
No, if you honestly had 1 million people cooperatively like smashing them on Twitter and email and Facebook all at the same time, that would be enough to change a company's direction.
Cool.
Because think about it, like companies make a change of direction when they have like 5,000 complaints, you know, on Twitter and that.
Xbox One. But anyway, we won't go there.
Wow.
Yeah, we won't go
Poor
there.
guys. But that is totally not Phil Spencer's fault. That was that Dom
I wasn't
Matthews or whatever
necessarily
it is.
pointing the finger at him.
Oh, I know. I'm just like, for people who still think that because people forget that he took over in the second year. It's like, yeah, he had nothing to do with it, but he's made it great. He made Xbox great again. Let me tell you about Xbox. Xbox is...
He built a wall around it.
Yeah, he built the wall. He built the greatest wall of Xbox.
I can just see, Peter Molyneux's knocking on his door. Can I come? No!
still on Blizzard, though. They also announced some Diablo stuff. Totally disappointed with it. They announced a new character pack, which they're going to release.
Never going to be happy.
Yeah, we'll go back to the other podcast.
Yeah, guys, my kids about Diablo. I would have been happy with some stuff, but all they released was a single character pack, which was the Necromancer, which is going to be a cool character. He looks pretty cool, but it looks like they're super early in development. Like, he's not coming out till mid-2017. So, but he's announced now. But it's just one character.
They might as well just do Diablo 4. For Christ's
well, that's
sakes.
the thing. People didn't expect Diablo 4 to come out. What they expected was a Diablo 4 announcement, sort of like what happened with Overwatch, where it's like, hey, we're going to show you this new game. It's not going to come out for like 2 years or so, but that's fine. Just know that it's happening. Like, we're doing something with this IP. But the way that it looks like they might still be doing something in the background, because all they announced was they're doing a Diablo 1 mod sort of thing, where you can go to a special dungeon in Diablo 3. It changes your movement, so it's the eight directional movements.
Yeah.
Changes how the skills work. It has like a special filter applied to it, so it looks more like Diablo 1.
I do never smell really.
And it's a 16 level dungeon, and you can get special rewards from it. That's going to be free, but the Necromancer, this single character pack, you got to pay for him. He's not a free character, which Blizzard have never done. They charge for all their expansions, which I get, but normally they always give you 2. And they give you like a massive content updates.
You want an
Something
example
worth
of,
paying
You want
for.
an example of how bad their character thing can be. Play HOTS. Like, that's ridiculous. The amount of characters you can buy in gold, but getting gold on HOTS, I'm not a pro player on HOTS. It takes me ages to get 1,000 gold in that game.
Do they not have anything like Smite did, where you could unlock all the characters, or I think you could just buy all the characters for a pretty good price?
There are packages with HOTS, but they keep changing, and there's no sort of buy them all thing with HOTS. And there's a lot of characters.
Is there a
in
free
HOTS.
weekend? Like
No,
free week?
they always do rotational
they've
free.
got,
They do
yeah,
free?
it's
Okay,
like
so
weekly heroes that they rotate.
Alright, well, that's all good, because League of Legends did that. They there was never like a big package, but they did free weekends. The only thing you could do is you could buy a package of skins, and when you bought a skin, you got the champion with the skin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the work. Like, it's a model that makes sense for the MOBA scene. So yeah, I know.
They need to give you a reason to keep
I
playing.
think it's like $15 or $20 for 3 or 4 characters.
For HOTS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually
it's rough.
that's very expensive.
That's roughly. That's
Yeah.
quite rough. But yeah, no, I think it's that
I
much.
can't remember how much it was for Smite, but it was like a reasonable price, maybe like $20, $25 for all those characters.
Yeah, nah.
Going back to your Diablo dilemma, I think we need to come to terms that, that I think you're probably going to hate me for saying this, but I really think that it sounds like they're milking Diablo 3. I mean, wouldn't it be better just
It doesn't make sense to milk it, though, because there's hardly a player base, because most people are leaving it because they're not making anything for it. So it's like, why bother going to all this work? Don't get me wrong, they're going to make money, but why go to all this work to maybe make 300 grand, right? Maybe $1 million, depending how many people buy it. Or just do it for HOTS, do it for Overwatch, do something for one of the other games, which you know they'd make more money on because they're current IPs. Like, it really doesn't make sense. It's like they're throwing a bone and that's it, and they're not going to give anything else out. It just...
Maybe there'll be surprise Easter eggs that'll hint at Diablo 4 in the new content.
I doubt that.
It'll be interesting
you
to
don't know.
see.
Got to buy it to find out.
That's the Blizzard guarantee. But look, end of the day, it would be good to see a Diablo 4. It would. I think it would be. I mean...
Heaps of people want it. Heaps of people were hoping for it. But, yeah.
Or, you know what they could do, which they will never do, but would get my interest in Diablo, is if they remastered the first one. I mean, why wouldn't you not do that? I mean, you love Diablo 1.
Yeah. I think the more that you actually... Like, if you really think about the process and the steps involved in that and what the game originally was, the game is great. It has so many flaws. So, for example, a lot of people, to make something more relevant, because not everyone plays Diablo 1 now, because it's such an old game. And this other game that I'm about to reference is quite old as well, but first-gen Pokemon on Game Boy, people thought that game is fantastic, and people always think that these old games, they always complain nowadays, being like, oh, releasing a broken game, blah, 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 that sort of stuff. Games were broken back in the day. Look at Ocarina, like Zelda, Ocarina of Time. People beat that game in like 2 minutes. Like, through glitches.
Yeah.
That glitches mean it's broken, guys. That's not like some edgy new, like, awesome thing. It means it's broken. And Diablo 1 has broken mechanics. So, if they did remake it, there wouldn't be much point to remake it because it would no longer really be Diablo 1 without the same restrictions that it had. Like, what Diablo 1 is it is what it is because of the way that it is. Like, in the sense that you can only move 8 directions. And it's really...
that isometric take on it.
Yeah, and same with Diablo 2. Diablo 2 is great, but our problem with Diablo 2 is whenever you do bow runs, which was the last final boss character, you do runs to try and get gear drops. I would sometimes literally in a day do 100 or 200 runs with him and maybe get 2 pieces that I wanted of gear. It was the biggest grind fest. And referencing that, Mike Morales, if I'm saying his name right, the CEO of of Blizzard. He was actually asked about Warcraft 1, doing a remaster or remake of that.
Yeah.
And he said, he goes, look, the game's great. A lot of people like it. It's not fun. It's not today's fun. It was fun when it came out because it fit the time of when it came out. And this is going a little bit off on a tangent. There's, Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yeah.
If you ever grew up watching those, a lot of the old ones and the Warner Brothers cartoons, they were a bit racist.
Yeah.
But now, whenever they re-show that at the start of those shows, they have a disclaimer saying that whilst everything depicted in this can be seen as wrong and is wrong today and was wrong then and is wrong now, because if they were to change it, that would be discriminating of the speech. They keep it the way that it is to show that that is what the artist did. And and that's what I'm saying is that what was good then is not good now. Everyone's moved on. Slice of life, like quality of life things that we have now in games, like quick matchmaking. Like the matchmaking in Diablo 2 was horrid. It's just, you got to jump out of a game to go back into another game. You can't search for games specifically, and all sorts of just garbage stuff.
Speaking of garbage, I have a very... now, Assassin's Creed, it's being made into a movie, as most of us would have seen by now.
Saw the trailer.
If you haven't seen it, the trailer's out. It's been out for a while. I'm not against the actors. Like, the actors look pretty decent in it. But the fact that I just honestly think the movie, and this is my opinion, I think it looks like absolute trash.
I don't like the assassin outfits aren't white.
Well, and it's not really canon with what's been going on in the games.
All the outfits are white in the games. Why?
Yeah, why are they different?
Desmond, Altair, Ezio, none of those characters are in this movie.
It's not even
nothing.
It's not even a dark white. It's just black.
The only thing that's got to do with it is it's called Assassin's Creed, and maybe as Sturgo is mentioned in the Assassins. None of what happened in the games is in this film.
Well, maybe they're just doing a different sort of thing with
it. I mean, they do a different thing for each Assassin's Creed, but Assassin's Creed, as far as what I've known from people who play the game, because I don't play it, because I got bored
this guy.
With it. As far as what I know, apparently the story just disappeared and dropped off after the third one.
It's because they
ruined
it. Yeah, and they ruined it because at the end,
they killed Desmond.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Desmond dies at the end of the third one, and to continue the story because you just literally Dang it. Anyway, quite literally, they ruined the whole thing. At the end of it, to carry on to the next game, Black Flag was the next one after the
That
third
was the
one.
best Sid Meier's pirate.
Yeah, you're gonna say. You always say. I go, Travis, what do you think of Black Flag? Oh, it's a good pirate game.
If you haven't played Sid Meier's Pirates, it's effectively a 2D version of
Black Flag.
On like just the boat part. You sail around on a boat, you upgrade your boat, you do shipments, and you steal spices, and you take on ports, and it's
steal spices like cumin and turmeric.
I've finally given up on Assassin's Creed
turmeric.
after I played Syndicate, which was the most.
Time.
I love it whenever it's my turn to talk. All this stuff happens. It's great. There's like backdrop stuff. Okay, I'll finish up real quick by saying that I've given up on the whole thing of Assassin's Creed, the whole franchise. I've given up.
Yeah,
I've had enough.
I've been really tempted to go play them.
Don't do it.
Well, I
play
mean,
up to number 3 and then stop.
No, you can't even play the first ones. They're terrible.
Really?
Oh, the first and second one were... The second one...
What makes them so bad?
In your opinion, though, I mean...
No. So, look at other retro reviews. So, people who have played them now and gone back and played all the games. Exactly like I was saying about Diablo 1 and 2. I love those games. Yeah. I grew up with those games. What was fine and normal then,
it's just not.
You will just hate it. It's like Mass Effect. When I played Mass Effect 1, it was one of the best games in the world to me.
Yeah.
When you go back and play it now, the load times, even with the game on an SSD, are so long.
Yeah.
Like,
it's amazing.
Literally, you would watch it, and it would sometimes take you 20 seconds to load an SSD.
That's still an issue today, though. I remember when I got Fallout 4 and was just like, all right, let's go.
Oh, yeah. 20 minutes of...
moving around the little thing. Yep, all right. I've seen that in every single detail. Oh, still going. All right.
War never changes.
and then I put on my SSD.
War still doesn't change.
Oh, good. Okay.
You know, that's one of the big things they fixed in apparently the Skyrim Special Edition.
Load times.
I was watching, load times. Yeah, I was watching some reviews on it, and guys were just like, single-handedly, if you are going to go back and play it, you're going to appreciate that load times are like
Aw.
25% of the time now.
I really liked rotating whatever was on the loading screen.
That's what I mean. Like in Fallout as well, it's the same thing.
Yeah. That was the... Yeah, like the
Well, that's
menus.
what I like. That's the thing I think of when I think of Skyrim, because I didn't play a lot of Skyrim, and all I remember was just like the first time seeing the menu, and I'm like, I know, I was just seeing. I think I was playing with controller, and I started moving the stick, and I started moving. I'm like, you can do that in load screens now.
What was weird about the Skyrim menu, something in Steam, I realized that if you had it turned up, if you had your, like, if you're playing it on PC, if you had it turned up to a certain level on your PC and then tried to turn it back down, you couldn't do it. So I remember I was playing with headphones once and I had it turned up full blast, and that first doom in the menu thing made me fall out of my chair. And my fiance Alex was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Nothing, just keep studying. It's all good."
Just quickly about Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Andromeda. Trailer just dropped today.
Yep. That looked cool.
Looks amazing.
Yep.
I don't know if this is
Never
what the
played it.
game's going to be like, but from me, the way that I interpreted the trailer is that I got a very sort of sci-fi horror-esque sort of feel to it. Like, you know the movie Oblivion with Tom Cruise?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where like it seems like there's something really underlying and spooky / scary,
There's
like
something,
horror
there's
sort
something
of going on.
on.
Too spooky for me.
No, I was gonna do it. Spooky, scary skeletons. Send shivers down your spine. Sorry.
Oh, Jacob, there's a reason why we've let you in this podcast for so long.
But yeah, it looks fantastic, and I just can't wait. I was a little bit disappointed they didn't release more details for it, but the game is coming out. I think they said spring 2017. So I think that's our July to.
That's
Whatever.
our autumn.
The biggest thing I want to know is...
Yes,
and
because
this is-
we're in Australia, so everything's backwards.
America 4, leave 4 down.
Shepherd or no Shepherd?
Oh, no Shepherd. It's based 700 years. So the first Mass Effect, don't quote me on this, I think it was set in 2137 or some year like that.
One of those crazy star dates.
This one is being set in 2737 because effectively the first game was set within the Milky Way galaxy and the Mass Effect relay sent you all across the Milky Way. This one is set in the Andromeda system, which is a whole other system. So the only way to get there, because there's no Mass Effect relay that sends you between those systems, is I had to send a space shuttle just to fly in cryo sleep for 700 years.
That's a lot to process. My slow Windows Vista brain is just struggling right now.
But yeah, so Shepard,
Sleep.
literally the only way Shepard can come back into the game, if he somehow is he's been cryogenically frozen for nearly 1,000 years, or they make a clone of him for reasons.
You know what would have been better at the end of the Andromeda trailer? You just see him walk out, turn to the camera. Well, bang, okay.
I was thinking more like you see him like step out of the freezer and like go to a shop and say, moon pie.
What a world to
Well,
live in.
He just walks out and he's like, he just says, "Oh, Andromeda's my favorite star system in the what's the Citadel? Can't remember the quote. You know when you go and you do the advertising for one of the quests to get a discount at the shops?
I have not played Mass Effect in a very long time.
Yeah, neither.
I like how a lot of the comments were just like, I hope a news reporter's in it again so I can punch her in the face. Another bit of gaming news is The Division, which has been mostly getting a bad rap and has been fairly dead for the last couple of months.
I thought it picked up again and then went...
Well, no, it has picked up again, is because they did a massive 5 gigabyte patch for it to bring it to version 1.4, which dramatically overhauls a lot of the core systems and mechanics of how the game play. So, and when I say gameplay, I don't mean the running and shooting part. That's all the same. The running and shooting and throwing your abilities down, that's all the same. What they have fixed though is characters no longer bullet sponges. So before you'd have, like I'd play my brother who's cap level and cap gear, item level. He'd be shooting an enemy and he'd be doing like 80,000 or 100,000 damage for each shot. And he's emptying a clip, reload, empties another clip, and then reload, and empties half a clip and throws a grenade, then he dies. They've fixed that now.
Yeah.
Enemy, like, you technically in a way you could say you do more damage, or you could just say that they're weaker, they die faster, they die much more normally now. So like,
Yeah.
it shouldn't take you more than 8 seconds to kill an enemy, which is much better. That's about what WoW tries to do. WoW tries to keep on for level to level, tries to keep anywhere from like 3 to 10 seconds.
Well,
unless it's an elite, obviously.
I was just mentioning that Legion's done it in a way where you go to the different parts in Broken Isles and actually levels with you now,
Yeah, yeah.
which is really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
But in the Division, the enemies now also do more damage. So whilst you can kill them faster, they can kill you a bit faster.
So
they fixed how a lot of the stats work as well, because the stats, how they multiply and divide, with each other.
So just to clarify, the world's progressive with the player as they keep leveling and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, they also, speaking of the world, there's a 4-tier system now based on your item level for the gear that you have. And basically, as you do certain quests and your item level gets up certain things, you can change the world tier. Basically, what the world tier is, that's how it scales for you. So if you're on item level 139 and above, you might be on world tier 3. And that means that even if you go to a small old zone, they'll be harder now. And therefore the gear that they drop is in line with the gear that you'd want to get.
Right.
Because, there's nothing worse than going back to do sometimes a quest, which happens to be really hard as the old way was, and it take you forever to do it, and you don't get any reward that's adequate for you.
I played this much of Division. I stopped playing because I didn't have anyone to play with at the time.
Well, I'm thinking of jumping back into it. Like, did you go on PC?
No, I got it on console, but
Scrub, that's right.
Yeah,
My
well,
bad.
that was. I'm
Moving on.
moving
So
on.
Jacob-
Yeah.
They fixed a lot of back end stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, and
That was the main issue that
yeah.
I figured they had a lot. Which
the
is
game's
like,
also so beautiful now. I don't know what they've done. I only have a GTX 960. They have done something that the game runs way better. I'm getting like an extra 20 frames per second, which is a gigantic increase if you really think about it.
Yeah.
And the snow effects are better. They got volumetric lighting in it working much better. Reflections are working much better. Just everything looks top.
Good work.
Yeah. PvP is still broken. They're aware of that. They have acknowledged that. They've also said that they're working on another massive update patch, which will fix the PvP. So just like how they fixed the PvE and all the raids and everything.
Yep.
PvE,
Like the
VIP.
PvP fix is definitely coming. So like if you're into it, or if you think about getting back into it because you dropped it really early on, it's gonna play the same, but the rewards and outcomes and the way that you progress through it is fixed now. It's better.
So
I found it better. I was talking to you. I played the other night. You played some Overwatch, and I played it for like 2.5 hours or so. It plays better.
So all in all, Division's on the incline. Going up.
Yeah, I
Getting better.
definitely recommend it. I guess it's hard though because there's also going to be Tom Clancy's Wildlands that's coming out next year.
We were talking about this in one of the podcasts. Yeah.
Wildlands
I
is
see
the
the one,
open
yeah.
one.
And
Yep.
yes, just to clarify, Tom Clancy is dead because that's an issue we kind of had.
I killed him. You can't prove it anyway. Wildlands looks good, so hopefully, I hope the Division the best. I hope they get their PvP patch out. I hope they get their next DLC. They were aware of how broken the game was. They didn't release a DLC because they wanted to fix the game first. So they stopped themselves from making money. Because obviously, there's no point releasing it if no one's going to buy it because the game's broken.
Yeah.
So they fixed it first before just making people buy
listen
content.
to the fans.
I know, it was amazing. Well, they did listen the whole time. Remember they pushed that game back 1.5 years?
I still remember the first trailer to that, where it showed this concept where someone on a tablet could join into this other game and all
I've
that
never
sort of
actually
stuff.
seen that done.
Yeah, but that's what the trailer was suggesting. Like, oh, hey,
But
it's Mark.
Wildlands looks good. Hopefully the guys making Wildlands have learned what happened with the Division, and it's going to come out in a better place.
Yep, learn from mistakes.
And another thing, this isn't about the Division. This isn't about a game actually, but there's something that's cool that's happening to Australia. Amazon.com.au is going to be released in Australia next year. For those who don't realise or don't know, if you go to Amazon.com.au right now, you can actually buy Kindle and books. That's all they sell here. That's the only thing that they sell. So hopefully, coming next year, all the great stuff that Amazon sell, which we don't get in Australia because Australia's a backwater hellhole which doesn't get anything cool.
Well, they got
we
Netflix
will be able
yesterday.
to get. Yeah, we will be able to get it. So it's also it means we get Amazon Prime, which means you can subscribe to that to watch the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
The new Top Gear episode.
Grand Tour.
But we won't get it in time for the first episode, which comes out in I think 10 or 8 days.
I thought
I
you
was
said
waiting
in
for
like
you- I was
10
waiting
minutes.
for like 10 minutes. We're like, ah.
In about 2.9 seconds.
Yeah. So Amazon.com.au, I'm super keen for them to be opening up here in Australia because there's so much tech stuff that I want to buy. Like, I look at buying audio equipment, I'm like, oh, that's nice. What's the shipping? $110? That's not that nice. You pay half what the thing's worth to get
that's
it shipped
great.
over here.
Actually, I'm curious to know, and this is gonna be, you guys aren't gonna like this too much, but Amazon do like really cheap Magic the Gathering boosters. Like here at a retail store, they're about $6.50 to $7 for a booster pack. Whereby on Amazon they're $3, right? And you can't buy them because they won't ship them overseas, because they can't ship sealed products, obviously because of like how cheap
That will
they
be
are.
fixed, I'd imagine.
Do you reckon you'd be able to do that over it? You'd probably be able to buy them on Amazon, but do you reckon the price will be set to say $6.50, $7?
The price will
here?
be based in Australian
Yeah,
because
that's
if they're opening
upsetting.
up here, our wages, like a lot of people never take this in consideration that the reason why a lot of our stuff is so expensive is because not only do we pay our employees more, but if your warranty is extended through our legislation. So if you don't know what a statutory warranty is, if you buy something, it's like, oh, you're gonna get a 1-year warranty. No, you don't.
No.
You got a warranty for what is reasonably expected for what that product costs. So if you buy a $5,000 computer and it says it comes with a 1-year warranty, you just go and say, no, it's $5,000 computer. I'm pretty sure it should last me 3 years or 4 years or even 5 years for a $5,000 computer. Yeah, and businesses have to take that in consideration. That's the more that I think about it, the older I've gotten and the more that I've like looked at it. I honestly think that's one of the reasons why things are so expensive here. They have to take into consideration that they can't just treat us like shit like they do in other countries.
So that's great that we're getting Amazon finally. I mean,
Yeah.
that's good. I actually had no idea that was happening, but that's fantastic. I mean, on that note of Australian, just a quick shout out to a show that's coming out in Australian TV. Can't wait for it. Now, a while
Like I
ago,
say, can't wait for it. We'll talk about the poster. Yeah.
So basically, there was a show called Russell Coit's Australian Adventures, and it was an actor, Glenn Robbins, who, if you don't know who Glenn Robbins is, he was Kel from Kath and Kim, and he also did a lot of stuff. Fast Forward, which was a skit show back in the 80s and
Fast Forward.
90s.
I love
we
it.
Could, we could talk about that
What
all.
is Peter?
Oh, there's a lot of those. Oh, but that scene with Magna and that other guy with the yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The crazy laugh that she did. Anyway, look that up, guys. I recommend it. It's funny, but he's coming back to do another All Aussie Adventures, which as Russell Coit, this character who's basically, it's taken off all those shows that really sort of
Steve Irwin,
yeah, in a way.
holiday shows as well. Like it was
The getaway
the
for
getaway.
sure.
Yeah.
We won't talk
Get
about
away!
it. But I mean,
I used to watch Getaway. I don't
It'll
know
be
why.
interesting to see how he does it. I mean, you look at a
Because
lot
it's
of
12 years on. He's so much
Yeah.
older now.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. It's the fact that it's like, you look at when Hey Hey It's Saturday did their reunion. Now, the reunion shows were great. So funny.
Until the blackface.
Yeah, well, that was a bit of an issue that was okay. Going back to what you were saying, it was okay back then,
Yeah.
but it's not okay now.
Yeah. Obviously, people who haven't watched the show, there were a lot of things which today you would totally just say that is politically incorrect, but it was very clearly a comedy and it was very clearly tongue-in-cheek sort of humor. It wasn't meant to ever be taken seriously, but people today can't help but take things seriously, even though it's
Yeah.
not supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah, we'll
We'll just go over that because like that's
yeah,
a sore point
we'll
for
just
all
trigger
of us.
too many people.
Yeah,
The
true.
point I was trying to make there is, Hey Hey It's Saturday did 2 reunion shows, which was great. And then, for some reason, it was that popular, they started getting a regular time slot again. And then it just dropped off again. Like, they couldn't keep it going. You got that hype. I hope that he can keep it going.
I reckon I'd say they're
hope he
planning a
can.
season show because
Yeah.
the announcement that I saw on 10 seemed like it was going to be the Russell Coit series, not a special.
No, just the actual series.
Yeah.
It was suggesting that from the poster as well.
Yeah, and it's funny. Speaking of posters,
Yeah.
you should just do a Google search to see what the Northern Territory's new advertising poster is.
Yeah, the new advertising campaign.
Basically, the slogan is "See you next Tuesday." So just think about those.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
Oh, that's right.
We'll see you in the Northern Territory.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll see you in the NT.
Yeah.
I won't say anything, guys, but you have to look at it.
Yeah, just take a gander, take a squiz.
Or if you're smart
take a
enough, just abbreviate that and use your imagination.
yeah,
It was so funny when I saw that. I saw the post. I'm like, oh, that's creative. Oh, that's official.
yeah,
That's legit.
And it's funny because they went from their previous slogan was "You never never know if you never never go," straight to just "See you next Tuesday," basically.
It was so good.
I really just.
Oh, so Australian. I love
It's like,
it.
you know that scene from Boat That Rocked that he was going to say the F word? It's like, I really want to say it, but I can't because we'll get in trouble.
I was gonna say, we can stop and I can take that stuff off, and we can keep going, or we can.
Could just wrap it up here, dude.
I kind of would like to head off home
Okay,
because
let's go. Okay.
Just wrap it up here.
So, yeah. Do you guys have any topics to finish off on?
No, that's it for me.
no, we've talked about most stuff that I want to talk about today.
I'll just finish on something else.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and so just a parting thing, seeing as we're just about to finish up this episode of the podcast.
Yep.
If you didn't know, Vine is closing down. It had
It's official?
Yeah, they got no money. I mean,
Goodbye.
but do we care?
Not
a
really.
6-second video service.
It was good while it lasted.
it had its moments for me and for a lot of people, but that's it.
And then it was
it's
just
done.
over. People were just like, it got to the point where like Vine was this thing where like, yeah, 6-second videos. And then people were like, hang on, we can just like make 6-second videos in a videoing program and they'll be better because we can do effects and all that stuff. Let's do that.
I'm gonna say, quote it like this: like it's very similar to Justin Bieber. It was really fun and unique at first, but now it's just probably obnoxious and should probably just go back to Canada and stay there.
I was watching I was watching a vlog like 9 months ago or so. This is forever ago, but it just stuck with me when I heard about this news. And this chick was filming their vlogging out, and then he goes, "Oh, just hold up a second, I'm just gonna do a quick Vine." And she was just like, "Who still vines? Are you vining? Are you being serious with me right now?" He's like, "Yeah, I vine," and she's like,
I only
just
know
walks
there's
off.
one person who would still Vine, and that would be Josh from Drake and Josh, and that's it. Because that poor guy had literally done nothing after Drake and Josh and all that. I mean, hey, he got fit, he got good looking, but he just vined his life
His
away.
face is weird. You can't fix that bone structure.
He
There was
vined
actually-
his life away.
There was a guy on Vine called Thomas Sanders that I liked. He was pretty funny, but he vined a lot, but I don't know if he still does. I don't think so anymore. The only vines that I really found were hilarious were the ones where like they were on the broom and they jump and play it, and then they jump again and move forward. So it was like,
I like
It's so
that creepy guy, the one that smiled all the time. He's like, how to be awkward. Like, that guy was... I don't know what his name was, but he was pretty funny.
bring back Vine. No,
No, don't bring it back.
I'm
Get rid of
joking.
it. Bury it.
it's over.
But yeah,
Just like this show.
Bury it
well,
with
that's what we'll end
MySpace.
on. They're closing down. We're finishing off this episode. It's been great to see you guys again.
Might be back
And
tomorrow. Sorry, next week.
Tomorrow!
Why wouldn't we be on next week?
Hmm?
Why wouldn't we be on next week?
Oh, I don't know. I was trying to come up with something creative. Leave me alone.
In the words of a famous Austrian, we'll be back. I'll be back, but we'll be back.
No.
No.
Yeah, catch you later. Yeah.
Peace.
Hasta la vista.
Peace.
Baby.
Yeah, baby.